Greetings and good day. This is Donnie with Techwinner, and thank you so much for joining me today. Well, guys, the folks at AsperX reached out to me recently and asked me to test out a tool that can be used for your car. Yes, I know we've tested things in the past like dash cams and CarPlay stuffs and other things that could be helpful to enhance your driving experience. But guys, today I'm going to show you what I think may be the most practical tool that everyone should have in their car. So without any further ado, let's dive in and let's take a look. Special thanks to today's sponsor, AsperX. And yes, while they did provide this to me as a gift to test, I am not receiving any additional compensation. And the review that you're going to receive today is mine, good, bad, indifferent. Everything is my words. I have not been coerced to say anything about this product. So just diving right into that unboxing experience. As you can see here, this is the AX260 jump starter. So not only does it have the ability to jump start your car battery, it also has a built-in air compressor. It also has a built-in light that you can use to strobe. It has a USB port on it that can be used for charging. And just pulling this product out of the box, you can see here, it's in this nice packaging here. It's got a little pocket on the back you could use to put some papers in, this nice Velcro flip cover on it. And just pulling the product out itself, you can see it's got a nice little user manual in here that's helpful. It's got some nice wrapping and the packaging. I always appreciate good attention to detail, and there's definitely some here as well. You see here this USB cable. This is an A to C. Yes, this thing does charge across USB-C. There's also a little packet in here that's got like a needle you'd use for like pumping up like a basketball or a soccer ball, a football. And also the cable that you'll use for the compressor itself. It does have threading on one side, so you do screw it into the compressor itself. And then of course there's a connection you'd put on the other end into like a car tire. And check this thing out. This is the jumper cables that you would use to plug this into a car battery. And then the other side will plug into the battery bank as well. And I'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But just opening this up for the first time, peeling this off, there is a big caution sign that's on here. And definitely pay attention to this one. You do want to fully charge this product before you use it. In my experience here, and I'll show you in a sec when I plug it in, it was at maybe about 2/3 fully charged, and it didn't take very long for this thing to get topped off. But I wanted to show you that back as well. It has all the instructions that you would possibly need. Typically, you might not be thinking clearly in a scenario like this where your battery's not starting or you have a flat tire. It's nice that they give you all those instructions. And just looking at that edge as well there, you can see the USB-C port that's used to charge up this power bank. And it also has a USB-A port that could be used to charge other devices that would support that, like your cell phone. And you can see here the little threaded place where the compressor is connecting. And that big white rectangle is a flashlight that also has a couple of strobe settings on it as well. And you can see here this power port that is used for plugging in the jumper cables if and when you need to use them. Also nice button controls on the front. It's got power, it's got the lighting control, and also some compressor settings that you can toggle through as well when the time comes to do that. So guys, I immediately took one of my trusty power banks. I took the cable that was in the packaging here and I plugged it in, and I went on ahead and got this thing topped off. It took maybe 30 to 45 minutes to get this thing completely topped off, not any time at all. And guys, I was so excited to go ahead and put this thing to the test. I had a couple of flat tires on a bicycle, and what better way to go ahead and put this thing through its paces. So guys, just holding this in my hand just to kind of give you some perspective on the size of it. It's a nice compact design, especially compared to like a Yeti tumbler. It's not that much bigger, and everything that you possibly need is nice Velcro snug stored inside this thing. It's a great thing just to be able to add to your trunk or somewhere that you know exactly where it is if and when you would ever need it for any of its purposes. And just kind of walking through a couple of more of those purposes, I went ahead and took it around to all 4 tires on my car. And it's nice because when you plug it in and you power it on, it does give you the current PSI of the tire. So you know if you need to add any air to it or not. And in my experience here, just plugging it in, there was one that was a little bit low, and I went ahead and turned it on, and I set it to be able to fill up to 32 PSI in my car. And the nice thing is when it gets to 32, it does automatically cut itself off as well. So very handy, something I would expect from a compressor in this price range, and we'll talk about that price here in just a little bit. But I also want to just show you some footage here just so you can see what it would be like to be able to connect this to a battery and jump start your car off of it. And guys, I actually did get the opportunity to put this to the test a little bit later, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. But just plugging this into my car, you do want to color match there, the red to the red, the black to the black. And it actually does have on here a couple of lights that will light up. The green is correct, and it'll light up red if it's incorrect. So if you have for some reason mismatched your colors, it will let you know that before it does any type of attempt at trying to jumpstart your vehicle. But guys, just thinking about different applications for this, I mentioned bicycles a minute ago, sports balls, soccer balls, basketballs, volleyballs, footballs, all the things you could possibly need to inflate. It's really nice because you can set it to whatever that rated PSI is for that sports ball. 6 PSI, 8 PSI, whatever that might be, and it will fill it up to exactly that limit, and it cuts itself off. But guys, I also found a couple of useful ones. My dad had an issue with a flat tire on his zero-turn mower. I took this over to his house. Previous to this, my dad was using a manual bicycle pump that, it's a lot of work and it's exhausting, and being able to just plug this thing in and fill up his tire within a minute, everything was done. It was just done. And interestingly enough, as soon as we got that done, he went to go start his car to go run an errand, and it didn't crank. And I know it sounds like I'm making up this scenario, but guys, I really got to put this thing to the test at my dad's house. So guys, just plugging this right into his car, we put the red to the red, we put the black to the black. And as you can see here, it blinks green if you have the connections the correct order in which they're supposed to be. And then when you're ready to actually jumpstart it, there's a little boost button that you press. The light went to solid green, as you can see in this video right here. And guys, he was immediately able to jumpstart his car. So guys, nice compact design. It is hefty compared to like a power bank that you would use just to charge up your phones and other small electronics on a regular basis. But this thing needs to be beefy. It's going to have enough energy to pump 12 volts and then all the cranking amps that are required to get a car started. But I just wanted to show you that light on the top as well. Once you've powered this on, you do have to press and hold this power button, which you want it to be that way so it doesn't just accidentally turn itself on. You do have to press and hold it for a few seconds to get it to turn on, but then you can toggle through the different light settings there. And this thing, it's decently bright, especially if you're out trying to jumpstart a car or trying to pump up tires in the dark. It's going to give you ample light to be able to handle those things. And if you wanted to have it just as a kind of an emergency signal, you can do some of the strobing stuff there as well. A little slower flash if you're pulled over on the side of the road and you find yourself in a situation where you've got to replace a flat or something like that. You can also use this for that purpose as well. And guys, I can't say enough about just having those instructions right there on the ready so you know exactly what to do. And the fact they also chose USB-C as their charging standard for this means that it's going to be interoperable with every different type of power charging brick that you may possibly have in your arsenal. You already have everything that you need to get this thing charged up, topped off, ready to go for your next trip. So let's take a look at this price on Amazon. Right now, the AX260 is available on Amazon for $99. But I'll also point out here, there is a 40% off that actually does take that price down to $60 on this thing. And guys, at that price point, I think this thing really is a must-have to have in your vehicle, especially if you have an older car like me and you needed to have something ready just in case the battery does die, and you might have jumper cables, you might not. You might have another vehicle that is able to come help jump you off. You don't need that in this scenario. You have everything you absolutely need at your fingertips to get your car started. Or if you're like me and that TPMS light comes on saying you've got low tire pressure, maybe it's a little colder day, going ahead and getting that topped off in your car without having to then stop at an air compressor at a gas station, incredibly convenient. Not only that, but being able to go out to places like a storage shed where you might have some bicycles that have flat tires or a zero-turn mower like in my situation, and being able to get that thing topped off right there, get those tires back to the rating to where they're supposed to be, and being able to do all of that from this tool incredibly handy. And guys, I'm just thinking about like road trips coming up for the summer. Father's Day is not very far off from the making of this video as well. So if you're looking for a gift for somebody who's difficult to buy something for, definitely go check this out. I'll have the link in the description. And yes, those links always do help the Techwinner channel as well. So I thank you so much for your support there. So guys, we've checked out a lot of different car specific products on this channel, whether that be like a dash cam, a backup cam, a rear view mirror camera that you can add, or some sort of a CarPlay unit. But guys, I have to say, this is probably the most practical thing that you want to have at your disposal. It's not something you're going to use all the time, but when you find yourself in a situation where you need something like this, you're absolutely grateful that you have it at your disposal. So highly recommend. Go check it out with that link in the description. And thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already, I'd ask you to consider liking and subscribing and hitting that bell notification so that you're always staying up to date with new content as it's uploaded. But for now, I'm Donnie with Techwinner, helping you make winning decisions when it comes to your tech. You guys have a great day.